Now, the hotly contested 2025 by-elections have kicked off today, and the most highlighted and prominent regions include the Mount Kenya region as well as the Nyanza. And for Mount Kenya, we are looking at Leonard Wamuthende, that is, who is a UDA candidate, alongside DAPK's leader as well. Now, on one of the dailies, they have interesting highlights for today's coverage of the by-elections. The People Daily says by-election showdown, who will win? And they're going head-to-head between Nyanza alongside Mount Kenya as well. For Nyanza, still it's Leonard Wamuthende, who is for UDA, who's been, I'd say, massively supported by the team from Kindiki, just going from different regions to region in the Mbeere North area, as well as Rigathi Gachagua, who's been campaigning for Newton Karish. And in Nyanza region, it's all about Philip Aroko and Boyd Were from UDA. Philip Aroko is independent. They want Boyd Were to win, and I've seen Gladys Wanga as well, who had some good things to say about him, but still that trading barbs and jabs at each other. I don't know. Aroko is still being, I don't know, is he a fugitive? Part of the, Ongondo Were's, murder. He is among the persons who are suspected to, anyways. Yes, that is on the People Daily. And then the Standard has an interesting highlight. It says the splash and the Standard talks about 2027 dress rehearsal. And then the country's 24 by-elections have morphed into a bruising war between President Ruto, and the strange Deputy Rigathi Gachagua, a battle for political survival disguised as local contest. And then the right there as well, it's Mbeere North versus Kasipo, Boyd Were from DAPK, and then Philip Aroko, who is now an independent as well, Leonard Wamuthende for UDA, Newton Kariuki, DAPK. I don't know, from your judgment, who do you see is gonna win in these areas? But let's finish up with the Daily Nation. The Daily Nation talks about a moment of truth. Voters cast their ballot today in one of the country's most consequential by-election. And then there's a photo as well right over there of Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, who says we recalled bodyguards of top officials, top leaders, because they engaged in crime. And this follows after bodyguards of Trans Nzoia Governor Newton Natembeya, and as well as this guy, what is his name, who's been also vocal as well, Bonnie Khalwale, who has been campaigning for his area, especially, I don't want to mention the other guy, because it just looks like, these elections are being, have you ever heard of the words Bengali? That means Bengali and controlled by the higher ups. It's like the government is pulling from their side, and then the independents and those who are not partisan or don't want to be part of it are also pulling from their side. So it looks like it's a tug of war, other than an election that should be fully sustained by, IEBC. But then there's still accusations left, right, and center. Former Deputy Rigathi Gachagua has accused Erastus Ethekon of not being transparent and being compromised. And it just tells you that, this is a precursor to what's looming for elections in 2027. But then there's Margarini and plus many other parts of the country as well where these by-elections are going to take place. And if you get a chance to grab a copy of the Standard, the Daily Nation, and People Daily, you'll get to see some of these highlights. But also, there's been violence in some specific areas. There's leaders as well who are ambushed. There's those who have been arrested. There's those whose security has been shelved because they've been vocal, speaking up against the airs that they suspect have been planned. Rigathi Gachagua yesterday had an explosive presser saying police who are released as civilians are disguised as voters, and whenever chaos would erupt, they are to possibly stash marked ballot papers into the boxes and not would compromise on the election. So this just tells you what kind of people we are dealing with, especially that this is a test drive of what's going to be reincarnated in 2027. So I don't know. I see Wamuthende, winning because he's been campaigned for by the president and then the DP. Boyd Were most definitely is gonna scoop for Kasipul, but I'll not be shocked if Aroko potentially comes closer or edges closer to the win. Um, for Malava, I see Ndakwa clocking it, but you just never know what could happen, and so it's going to be a close range kind of competition in this election, in this by-election, and